People are just coming in now. We'll give you another few seconds for people to get into the forum, and then we can start.
Yes, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining this admissions webinar for the GmbH.
Shall we start off with some introductions?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Paul, it would
Okay.
be great for you to start, if possible.
Shall I start? Hello, my name is Paul Aylin, Professor Paul Aylin. I'm a Professor of Epidemiology and Public Health at the School of Public Health. And along with Helen Ward, we are both co-directors and creators or original founders, I suppose, of this Global Master of Public Health online MPH course. Shall we go around and introduce ourselves? So, Natasha, do you want to go next?
Great, thank you so much, Paul. Welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Natasha Kroom. I'm the Deputy Course Director of the Global Master of Public Health. I'm a senior teaching fellow within the School of Public Health, and along with Paul, I'm one of the module leads on the research portfolio, which is the research project modules. And if you have any questions about that, we'd be happy to answer those in due course. But I will hand you over to Anna.
Hi, my name is Anna Scheida, and I am the coordinator for group program. I supervise the administrative and student support. So all students at some point have come across me, and I'm very happy to work with Scott and Patson as administrator for the program. So Patson.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Patson Godino, and I'm a program administrator, and I work with the program support team with the GmbH program. Scott.
And, my name is Scott Paling. I, as has been said previously, work with Patson and Anna to make sure this program runs smoothly. I'll be talking to you later today about some of the pathways into the program. I suppose I'll pass it on to our student representatives, starting with Elvira.
Hi everybody. So I'm Elvira and I graduated in 2022. Oh my God, it's been that long. And I will hold off any further description for my presentation.
Great, thanks, Elvira. And Asari.
Hi everyone, my name is Asari Ian. I recently completed the GmbH program in 2023. Thank you.
Marvelous. Okay, shall we move on to the next slide? And this is what we've got in store for you over the next hour. I'm going to give a little introduction and overview of the course, and Scott and Anna will also tell you about the structure of the course and how it's organized. As you've already guessed, we're lucky enough to have a couple of students with us, or previous students, alumni, who will be able to give you an indication of what it's like to be a student on this course. And then Patson and Natasha are going to talk about admissions and how to apply to get onto the course, and then we will answer any further questions. And you can type questions in the Q&A box, and we'll try and answer those as we go along. But maybe we can pick up a few towards the end of this session. So next slide. Let's move on to the next one. So I'll start. Why choose the Global Master of Public Health at Imperial, and why? What are the key reasons for choosing this? And I suppose at Imperial we have a teaching team and academics, faculty, who are involved in shaping global public health policy and practice. Imperial has a very strong reputation for doing impactful research and feeding that into policy. The course itself is delivered by our academics and teaching fellows who are public health experts with a really huge range of backgrounds and expertise. As a team, we work continuously to revise, update the course and the curriculum in light of new developments, and also in light of feedback from our students. So the course is continually evolving. We've got bespoke, tailored student support, which has been designed to support specifically online students with this course. You've got a range of choices, which you'll see when we talk about the course structure, you will have some support in choosing what is the best way to navigate this course. What's the best way? What are the best options in terms of modules, and how long you take to do the course in order to do that. We've got the Imperial College Centre for Academic English courses. We have a very strong support service for people who may have more specific learning requirements. That is very well organised at Imperial, and we have a number of career sessions. So that's why you should do a Master of Public Health at Imperial. We've worked very hard to design this course specifically for online delivery. So when Helen and I first thought of the course and began to think about the design elements, we designed the course very much from scratch to be an online course. Now we at Imperial run a very successful on-campus public health course, and we obviously use some of the expertise and experience from that course. But the course itself is specifically meant to be delivered online, and all the learning experiences are designed to enhance that experience. So we have a range of content, videos, reading, e-activities. We have some sort of team exercises. We have a range of formative quizzes, and all of these you are able to complete in your own time, and when you choose to do it according to the course. So within a term or so, and taking into account assessments, you have some freedom there to learn at your own pace. And then we also have some synchronous content where we have live sessions, where we have sessions in each of our modules run by the teaching scheme. We might have guest speakers. We also have office hours to ask questions. We try and alternate our times of these synchronous contents so that people in different time zones can access at least some of these. And all our sessions are recorded if you're unable to attend. I don't want to play down the amount of work required to do and get through this course. This is a master's course at Imperial College, so it's going to be difficult. but it is designed to allow you to work on this course part-time, which frees a lot of students up to be able to continue with their daytime careers. However, we would expect, if you're doing a 2-year pathway, you generally do about 3 modules per term, which would amount to about 20 to 24 hours a week. So that's a significant time commitment for an online course. If you do the 3-year pathway, you're only doing 2 modules per term, and that's approximately 14 to 16 hours per week. But I'm not going to lie, it's a significant amount of work to get through. However, given the way we deliver it, I am sure and hope that if you choose to sign up to the course, you will find it very, very rewarding. Now, I think I'm going to hand over. Am I handing over to Scott
You
to
are,
take
Paul.
us through the structure of the course?
You are.
Scott, take it away.
Thank you so much, Paul, and hi everybody. I'm just going to talk about how our course is structured and what pathways that you might be taking through this program. There are 3 entry points. You can either join at PG certification level, or you can elect to apply for the full masters, either on the 2-year pathway or 3-year pathway that Paul has just alluded to. If you are to apply for the PG certification pathway and then want to continue on to develop that into a full masters, you'll then have to study year 2 to earn a PG diploma, and then if you want to continue even further onto the 3rd year to complete the MPH in its entirety. And this pathway is akin and the same as if you were to enter via the 2-year or 3-year MPH pathway. It's just broken up into, in a way, if so that you can either choose to move on to the next stage of the program or depart at your choice. Gives you more, perhaps, flexibility. Now, how this is structured. Our modules, well, you take the 2-year pathway as the initial example, is made up of core, compulsory, elective, and your research portfolio modules. Those listed in green in here, such as Foundations of Public Health Practice and Epidemiology for Public Health, are core modules that have to be taken at that fixed set point. Meaning that, so when you come into the program during term 1, 2 of the first modules you'll take, if you're on the 2-year pathway, will be Foundations and Epidemiology. And then in the second term, you'll have to take Statistics for Public Health. Now, how a compulsory module differentiates from this is that they still have to be taken as part of your program, but they can be taken at points where you choose. So, for example, in term 2 here, we have Health Systems Development and Health Protection. Now, you have to pick 2 modules alongside Statistics for Public Health during your second term to make up the 3 modules for that term. Now, if you could choose to not take Health Systems Development and Health Protection, and instead choose 2 of our elective modules for that term, but this would lock Health Systems Development and Health Protection into your second year, second term, having to be taken at that point. So compulsory modules different to core in that you can have flexibility of when you choose to have those modules. And then finally, our research portfolio is split into 4 key modules that you take throughout the year in this 2-year pathway during term 3 of your first year, and then during first, second, and third term of your second year. Now, the 3rd year pathway is different in that you do 2 modules per term as opposed to the 3 modules that we pick from in the 2-year pathway. But it is pretty much the same layout. You can still do compulsory modules at different times, depending on what electives that you wish to take and at what points. And the only difference is that in your term 2 3rd year and term 3 of your 3rd year, you'll only be engaging the research portfolio, but for the rest of the course, you'll be engaging 2 modules per term. And If you do start on the postgraduate certificate, there are some prerequisites that you have to do to be able to progress onto further parts of the program. And that's being that you still have to take those compulsory modules of health system development and health protection and population health improvement. These will allow you to progress then onto doing the PG diploma in year 2 and then the full master's in year 3, should you wish to complete this. If you start during the PG certificate route, you can't do that in a 2-year span. It has to be 3 years, as you've only been taking 2 modules per term during a PG certificate year, and we have to then spread them out over 2 years to complete that. So that's an overview of how the different pathways you have and how the modules will be structured during your time with us. And I think I'll pass on to, I said, Paul or Natasha to introduce our student reps today.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Natasha,
sorry.
you go ahead.
Yeah, no, happy to do this. I think you don't need to share during this time. Thanks, Scott.
Sure.
We need the slide on the back. But no, we're very happy to welcome 2 of our previous students who have gone through the entire process and graduated, here to kind of just give an overview of their experiences, their thoughts on the program. You can ask them questions. Feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section. But thank you so much to Evira and Asari for joining. So please, it'd be great to hear from both of you what your thoughts were, what experience you had on the GMPH. Be great to know if you took the 2-year or the 3-year. What was your experience with the pathway?
I can go first. So I did the 2-year master's directly. I began my studies in September 2020, which was an experience to begin with, doing a master's in public health in 2020. And I graduated in 2022, as I mentioned before. I want to reiterate what Paul said. We don't want to downgrade how much studying you will need to do. But what I still remember and still cherish is that despite the studying and all that, I never felt alone during the whole process. Imperial offered opportunities to connect both with the teaching staff and with your peers. So there's always someone you can vent and talk with. And I think that was one of the most important aspects of the whole experience for me. So if anyone tries and tell you that, oh, it's a remote master's, you won't be able to connect with your professors or your classmates, it's not true for this particular one. I still talk with many of my peers and some members of the teaching staff, actually. It was tiring, but I loved every course, even the ones that were very, very difficult, such as statistics. That was something. And honestly, if I can sum it up with one sentence, is that when I received my diploma, I was obviously happy, but I was also sad because it was over. And I am already thinking of doing another master's at Imperial at some point. So that tells you a lot. Yeah, so anytime I actually talk about my experience, everybody thinks that I'm getting paid by Imperial. I'm not. I want to make that very clear. I just loved the experience. It's true. And regarding what I did after graduating, I started working for consulting agencies that work for the pharmaceutical sector, and I'm an evidence specialist. So my day-to-day life consists of systematic literature reviews that you will learn how to conduct amazingly at Imperial. Yeah, and it opened a lot of doors. just the name of Imperial is so important for one's CV. I saw it in real life. Yeah, so I think that sums it up from me.
Thank you so much, Vera. It's really wonderful to hear your experiences. And I think it echoes what Paul was saying earlier, that yes, there is, a workload to be recognized. There is a certain workload with this master's, but it's wonderful to hear that you enjoyed it and that you're using your skills in your role, and that you still contact with your peers and the staff. And Asari, please, it'd be great to hear from yourself as well, your experiences.
All right, thank you very much. Well, I did the 2 years master's pathway as well. I started in 2021 and I finished in 2023, just recently. I was doing the master's while on a full-time job, so it was quite dicey, but I found a way to manage my schedule just because the course was really, really flexible. I like the fact that even though I missed some live sessions, the recordings were available and I could still listen to the recordings. I could take part in the office hours. The office hours were really, really helpful because those were sessions where we had one-on-one. We had a one-on-one with the facilitators, and then we could share whatever issues or questions we had. And then I like the fact that the reading materials were always available on time. So what I used to do was try to read ahead a bit, just so that when I drop in a live session, I'm able to follow the discussion. And then it's just like Elvira said, it's a connected community. You're not going to feel like you're alone. The staff are always available. There are platforms for you to interact with your peers, the discussion forums, Slack, Microsoft Teams, all that is available. I think for my year group, we actually even had a WhatsApp group chat where everyone would just, ask questions, share their experience, and somehow we all got to connect on LinkedIn. The course was really helpful in my day job because, like I said, at the time I was volunteering with a public health organization, and I was really trying to find my bearing in terms of the area that I wanted to work. So I still work where I currently work while I was on the program. I actually used to work on the HIV program, and now I work on neglected tropical diseases, which is a data use project. And I found that all the assessments we used to do, which had a lot of writing, actually improved my writing skills at work. I'm able to write proposals more, write reports. Even while statistics was tough, but it's also helpful. It was helpful in terms of writing, preparing abstracts for conferences, and all that. So it has really enhanced my professional skills. I don't know if I would want to do a master's all over because of how intense it was, but it was a really, really great experience. And I would end by saying that consistency is actually key. No matter how tough it was, I just kept trying to go on. So just work at your pace and then find a schedule that works best for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Asari, for your experiences. I hope that gives sort of a taster to the applicants. Patson, sorry, I see you unmuted. Are there any questions?
Yeah, there's some questions in the Q&A box which you can go through. Do you want to go through them right now, or do
No,
you want
we'll go through the admissions, and then I just thought maybe there were some questions for Asari, Vera, you wanted to speak. But if those come up, we can answer those later. But thank you so much, Vera and Asari. I hope this gives you, everyone on this call, a bit of a taster, a bit of flavor of what you might experience if you join the GMPH. And Vera and Asari will be staying on with us. So if you do have any questions and you want to ask them anything else about their experiences, please do put it in the Q&A. But I think we are now going back to the slides to Anna or Patson, I believe you're going to kind of discuss a little bit
Yeah.
about admissions. That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll go over the admissions overview. If you can go to the next slide. So this is just an overview of the GMPH admissions progression funnel. So the course is run on, the program is run on Coursera, basically. And when you decide to make an application to the program, you have to make an application on the Imperial College website. Once you make an application, our admissions team and the School of Public Health department will review your application. It should take around 4 to 6 weeks for an offer decision to be made after that. And then you should have around 21 days after a decision is made, if it's an offer, to accept your offer. And then once you accept your offer, you'll have to meet your offer conditions, which we'll discuss later on, and you'll move on to the onboarding course. Next slide. So what are the minimum entry requirements? You need to have an undergraduate degree with a 2.1 in any subject area or an MBBS degree. And having a science background is not mandatory for this, because we accept applicants from many different backgrounds. And we also accept a wide range of international qualifications, and you can find that information on the website. So when you make an application, you're required to submit your transcripts. They should be translated into English if required. You need to fill out a personal statement, which we'll discuss in the later slides. You need to upload a CV, and you need to have 2 acceptable references. So the college also it does not allow for dual enrollment on the programs, meaning that if you're enrolled in any other program with any other university, you'll have to deregister from that. Even if it's with Imperial, you'll have to deregister because you could only enroll in one program with Imperial. So Natasha can go over the next slide on what the reviewers are looking for when you make an application.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patson. I'm on the review panel for the GMPH. And as Patson said, when we get a new application, we look through all the documents, and in terms of your transcripts, we're really looking to see kind of what the course you did previously, whether you've had any sort of quantitative experience. So as was mentioned, we do ask students to take statistics as a core module, and then there are other electives that are quantitative related. So we do kind of look to see what quantitative experience someone has had previously. So maybe you took maths or statistics, anything quantitative related. Look at generally your overall marks, and whether you achieved sort of a minimum of a 2-1 or what is equivalent, depending on your context you're in. One of the main things to discuss here is the personal statement. So this can be different in different countries, different contexts. So what we're really looking for as a personal statement is a 1 to 2 page document from yourself outlining why do you want to apply to the GMPH, kind of outline your motivations for applying, what interests you in the GMPH, why specifically this course. There are other online MPHs, why this course, outline sort of your previous background and how this relates to public health. So do you have some public health related or health related experiences? If so, what are they? And it would also be good to know sort of your aspirations. So this kind of links to your motivation. So what will the GMPH help you to do in the future? So generally it's best to keep this quite short. It's like 1 to 2 A4 sides, and your reviewer will look through that. Please can you move on to the next slide? Well, this just goes through in more detail what I was saying in terms of your personal statement. It's really important to kind of just outline everything I sort of said, your motivation, your previous experience, your aspirations, and relate this to health, public health, and the GMPH. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Natasha. So this next slide is for offer holders only. So if you are made an offer on the program, like I said earlier, you'd have to meet your offer conditions. So your status will be condition pending when an offer is made. And then you have 21 days after an offer is made to accept your offer. Once the offer is accepted, your status will then change to condition firm, and your offer conditions will be laid out in the system. So the offer conditions can be an English language test if required. Our admissions team will inform you if it is required or not. Your academic conditions, which will be a qualification check, and payment of the 10% tuition fee deposit. So once all offer conditions are met, your status will then change to unconditional firm, and you'll be ready for enrollment on the program, which is around the end of August and early September. So all of the links are available on the slide on our website, and we'll post the slides after the webinar is concluded. English language testing. So we require that applicants meet the higher standard level because it's a postgraduate program, and you can see the screenshots, two most common tests over there. The higher level for our ELTS is 7 overall, with the minimum 6.5 in all elements. And for TOEFL, it's 100 overall with a minimum of 22 in all elements. We also accept other tests, and you can find that information on the college website. Finally, if you need any other support admissions-wise, or you have any other questions, you can reach out to the email below, gmphqueries@imperial.ac.uk, and one of our staff members will get back to you. I guess the final slide is useful links, which will be shared with you after the webinar is ended. Thank
Great,
you, everyone.
thank you so much, Patson. I think we've gone into the Q&A portion. So I know a couple of our attendees have their hands up, but generally we don't answer questions unless they're put in the Q&A box. So please, could you put your question in the Q&A box?
So there are some questions in the Q&A box
Yeah,
that are
please,
meant to be
Patson.
answered live. So the first one by Sophie is, I've taken some online programs, 8 to 12 weeks for online certificates through, I'm not sure what that body is, but with other US universities, and found them fairly uninspiring. So the question is, can this program guarantee a more actual university course experience rather than pay for certificate approach? I guess she's referring to how Coursera works, maybe.
Could I suggest that maybe Asari or Elvira might want to answer that? It's better coming from people who've actually experienced the course as students, perhaps, than from us.
As I said, it's as close to a university experience as you can get. I mean, except for actually going to campus. Other than that, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. So I think that answers it. It doesn't compare to any short course. That's clear.
Just to add to what Elvira said, there are a couple of resources that are available for students who study online. Apart from the reading materials, apart from the courses, there's access to the career support system, the library, and all that. So you still have the same experience as being on campus. It's just that you won't be physically there.
And the amazing graduation at Royal Albert Hall, obviously. I mean, that's
yeah.
Thank you so much, Avira and Sari. And I think just to kind of carry on, we obviously do have online content which you work through at your own pace, but we do recommend that you keep up with the staff, how they work through it week by week. But we do have live sessions based upon the content that you can join Zoom or Teams and interact with peers, staff, and office hours. So there are live sessions, but if you're unable to attend those, we do record, so you can watch the recordings back.
There was a question on how flexible the program is for working people. and about a question on examinations as well, if it's flexible for them to take them.
Shall I answer that? I mean, there is some flexibility in that for sort of written assessments where you're asked to produce a piece of work for an assessment, that that can be submitted any time up to the deadline. There are some exam type things where we've got a much narrower window of time for assessments. I'm not sure offhand at what sort of proportion of our assessments that involves. Natasha, you may have a better handle on that.
Well, there
are a few assessments.
Yeah, all assessments will have a clear deadline, but the majority of those, between sort of 80 to 90%, is sort of individual, and you submit online by that deadline. But we do have a few modules. One of those is a required module where you need to do a presentation. And so some of those you will record a video offline and you can submit it as normally, but there are a couple where you have to turn up on a certain day. But you will be told that far in advance and you'll be able to book a slot for that day. So generally, it's not flexible in terms of the deadline, but we do, of course, have extensions. So there are mitigating circumstances if something happens, but it's not really flexible in terms of the deadline of the assessments. But if for any reason you need to be somewhere on a certain day, you'll be told very far in advance, and you'll be able to kind of book a slot. But it's flexible in terms of you can choose when you do it in your day. You know, you don't have to be at class at a certain time. If you can attend, that's great. If not, that's fine. So there is that flexibility.
Thanks, Natasha. There was a question on if students will have an academic advisor, and also would they get some help with their thesis? So I'm not
Paul,
sure
I
if anyone,
think you'd be a good
Can I
person.
say that? Okay.
Yes, please.
So I'll answer the question about the thesis and the support that you get around that. It was actually quite a knotty problem to deliver a master's program online, and the nature of master's programs, certainly within the UK, is that a substantial proportion of that has to be some original work, some original sort of research. And so we came up with the idea of a research portfolio. And so for the, it's about a third of the course, the research portfolio. And it's divided up into 4 parts, and it's a very structured approach to developing a research project. So the research portfolio 1 will help you develop your research question. It will support you in doing literature reviews and teach you a little bit about carrying out a systematic review as well. And the assessment is essentially providing a credible, feasible, focused research question with some evidence to support why that's an important question, and noting the gaps in research. So that is a very structured component of the research portfolio. The second research portfolio, again, we have a lot of sessions, material, interactive sort of stuff that helps you develop a protocol for answering that question, and the assessment is around a protocol for your research study. The third component, you are taken through some more practical aspects of research. So there is a session on how to apply for a research grant, how to engage with members of the public, and also how to write an ethics application. And then the final module, which takes up a whole term, is around actually carrying out your research project, your proposed research project. Now, the first component or two, you're working with the rest of your colleagues, working through the material to develop that, and we have webinars designed to take you through each component of that. But as you head on towards actually carrying out your research project, then you're assigned to a sort of a research lead who has 5 or 6 students within the field that you're doing your research project in, and there will be regular meetings with that research lead to support you in carrying out your research and developing it further. The advantage of having that sort of group supervision model is that you also work alongside students who are doing similar kind of studies, either in terms of the methodology or the topic that you've chosen. So it's it is a process of we've designed to sort of hold your hand throughout the whole research portfolio, and to support you right the way up until delivering your final piece of assessment, which is a scientific paper that would be suitable for potential publication in a peer-reviewed journal. And one of the advantages of that then is once you've submitted your final assessment, you then have a fairly good manuscript to work from, and if you choose to actually go forward and submit that and get that published, then we'll support you with that process as well. I hope that answers your question about support for your thesis.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. And I think that nicely leads to a point I wanted to make about our assessments. We've worked quite hard to ensure these are authentic, real world, life type assessments across all the modules. So as Avira was saying, as Asaris was saying, which is really wonderful to hear, that the skills you learn from the GMPH, we want you to be able to go away and apply that. We've had students who are, currently on the GMPH, undertaking the GMPH, and they're learning and they're applying to their job that they're working on as they go throughout the masters. So all our assessments do have that authentic, real world position in mind when we're framing it, which is why the final piece is a journal article, because that's very much what you'd be doing in research. Because also we do want to encourage students to think about publishing. If you haven't experienced that before, it's a great chance to undergo that process and learn about that. I saw there was a question about, are all the assessments online? All the assessments are online, but when I was talking about potentially having to be there to be at a presentation, this would be on a Zoom or Teams session. So it's all online. All the assessments are online. You either submit a document, you work on it at home and you submit it to a portal, or you join a session and do a presentation, but it would be like joining a session like this through Zoom or Teams. But everything is online. Nowhere is there any expectation for you to come to London, to come on campus. It is all completely online. Thank you.
Thanks,
Sorry,
Natasha.
Natasha, there's a question, 2 questions. First, what background do our students have, whether they come straight from undergrad or what professional experience they have and they come from, and where they go to after graduating, what careers, if somebody has no knowledge of public health and they're asking, what can I do after the degree? So there are 2 questions. I don't know who would like to answer that.
Paul, would you like to?
Okay. So the kind of students we have on our course tend to be sometimes a little bit older than coming straight from a graduate degree, although we do have some of those students. They do tend to have a little bit of experience and background. Some of them can be quite mature and quite senior, actually. So we've got a very good mix of ranges of experiences of students, which is a very nice environment to study in. But often we get people who may be wanting to study public health to change their career. But we also get people who are already working in sort of public health who want to enhance their training to do their job better. So there's a range of students. In terms of what you can do with a Master's of Public Health, there's a huge range of careers out there, and the course itself, through the range of topics that it offers, will give you some ideas about where you want to go. But for example, some people have, like Elvira, if I'm correct, of starting to work for pharmaceutical companies. We have people who want to continue the academic course and can go on and do a PhD or work within an academic research environment. We have people who want to work within a sort of municipal sort of public health environment using some of these skills. We have people who go on to work for NGOs in a public health capacity. A whole range of different options. We have some medics who choose to study public health as, alongside their professional medical training, and that's simply because they have an interest in that side of things. So a whole range of students. I'm sure there are other careers that one can take, but there's a lot of opportunities.
Okay, and the ever-present question: is the degree accredited in the UK, EU, Canada, US? So the usual question. Just to clarify that in the UK, all the universities need to be accredited to actually run degrees. In the US, I don't believe that's the case. So it's a completely different question what accreditation means in the US and in the UK/EU context. So Paul, Natasha, would you like to explain? So there is a question, especially from a person going to live in Canada, whether that will be recognized in Canada.
I think there are. I can't. I'm just trying to call up the exact question, but here we go. Is this accredited in UK or Europe? So it's a university degree from Imperial College London, which will it's exactly the same as doing an on-campus course. Exactly the same as doing any master's course within Imperial College. I guess one of the unique selling points of doing it at Imperial is that the name Imperial does open many doors in terms of job applications. I think there's a more specific question there around accredited by public health bodies. There's a US Association of Public Health courses. There's a European course, and we're not aligned with the US side of things. That tends to be a very sort of practical it's quite different how public health is practiced in the US compared with, say, the UK or other parts of Europe. So what we've done is engineered the course to be to give you a really solid set of skills and expertise across a range of public health skills. But it's not accredited by the European Public Health AFIA or whatever it is, or the equivalent organisation in the States. But talking to our students, they haven't found that a problem at all.
Yeah, just to confirm, we have had students from North America, well, from all across the globe, but from North America, who have graduated and gone on to secure jobs in public health in North America. So that hasn't been, as Paul said, that hasn't been an issue. I do think, as Paul said, Imperial College London is a strong brand, and it's known, you know, public health particularly, the masters is known worldwide, and it's known to kind of set our students up, our graduates up, with the skills and knowledge they need to apply these in a public health setting.
And not wanting to boast, but we probably should boast that, you know, Imperial College is in the top 10 universities in the world. The School of Public Health at Imperial ranks top for research within the UK. And for those of us British viewers who have access to the BBC, we also won University Challenge 2024, but that may not, I just thought I'd add that one in. But I think the name Imperial counts for a lot.
Thanks, Paul and Sasha. I posted some links as well in the chat for everyone. Information on the program, there's information on the scholarships, and there's a small note on accreditation as well from our website that I posted in the notes.
Right, that's very helpful. Thanks.
Yeah. So I think there's some other questions as well.
Actually, Patson, thank you. I saw a question about statistics, and I think both Evira and Asari spoke about statistics. So maybe you know, both of you or one of you could talk about your experiences with statistics. How much statistics is there on the course? You both mentioned it earlier, so it'd be interesting to know your experiences of that.
It was definitely a challenging course, but nothing not manageable or stressful. As I said again, the teaching staff were available all the time to answer my countless questions. So even if you are useless, as I was with statistics, you'll pass. And I think I even got a good grade, actually. You just need to study a lot, as with all Imperial courses. But again, it was a very useful course, and I am putting it to use every day with my work. So.
Sorry, is there anything you would like to add?
Oh, okay. Just to add to what she shared. Sorry, just to add to what Elvira shared. The statistics course was mainly, well, you really don't need to have prior experience because of the way it was taught. And the main thing we learned was really how to interpret that data and really just applying that to maybe developing an abstract, key things to look out for. But at every point in time, the guidance or whatever we needed was provided. On my part, I actually did the basic stats, and then I did advanced stats, and then I did infectious disease modeling. So they all and we used our studio, and it was really helpful. So yeah, that's just it. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Evira and sorry. We have sort of 3 minutes left. So Patson, are there any sort of final questions that'd be good to cover?
Yeah, Anna might know.
Yeah, about the campus facilities. So all our online students have access to campus facilities. They just need a card. So the card is to be collected, obviously, from the on-campus, but students can access the libraries, can access all the facilities that the on-campus students can. So there's no payment involved. For the library, if anyone of students wants to access the library, they can, but everything, all that is required for the program is available online via the e-library. So there's no need to actually physically go and borrow a book, for example. And obviously the flexibility, we are aware that the majority of students are the working students. So obviously if somebody is traveling or is working, is not able to submit assignments on time, there are individual arrangements that can be made. If somebody needs to take a year off during the midway through the program, there is an opportunity to do that. So we do understand that people have their lives, people have work, family obligations. So we try to be as flexible as possible. And obviously everyone comes from all over the world. So that's why all the live sessions are recorded. But we do highly encourage, and the students who did participate and who attended the live session office hours can attest that there's a great learning opportunity, because the teaching staff is just amazing. They're experts in their own field, so it's just a pleasure to attend and to converse with them about anything and everything. And they're very happy to have students during the sessions. And there also, as Paul mentioned, a lot of external experts in the field presenting and coming up to guest lectures. So we're very flexible, very open to different students from different backgrounds. So and we make sure that they have the best experience possible during the program. So we take good care of them during the program, and we encourage frequent communication with us. So we not like just an online mock program that you don't see anyone, you don't talk to anyone, you just read and submit the exam. So no, we're kind of interactive and leader for students, and we're also ready to help us and the teaching team. So very approachable, very welcoming, and we have amazing students, amazing staff. Just come and join us.
That seems like a really nice point to end on. Thank you very much, Anna. I know there are still some outstanding questions. If you do still have some, please do email the GMPH queries email that's in the slides. So the slides and the recordings will be sent out to everyone afterwards. But we just wanted to say thank you very much for attending this webinar. Thank you very much to Avira and Asari for joining and providing your alumni experiences. It's been really fantastic to hear from you. And thank you to all the panelists for joining, Paul, Patson, Anna, and Scott, really much appreciated. And again, to thank you for all of you for attending. I hope this has given you a good insight into our program. Please do follow up if you have any further questions using the GMPH queries email. But thank you very much, everyone. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thanks all.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.